what's going on, guys? MA76 Speedball here. I'm back at it again with another video for you. Today I've got the final performance review on the Brandblack Rare Metal. But before I get into that, I would like to answer a few questions that I received on Instagram. I had questions about Brandblack and where they're from, and when did they get started and what's it all about. So I'll start off with the founders. David Rice is the founder of Brandblack, and he started the company in 2012, so it's a fairly young company. They're based out of El Segundo in LA in the States, Los Angeles. And so before he started off with Brandblack, he was at Adidas for 3 years, and he was in charge of the basketball category. And then prior to that, he was the lead designer at Fila for the basketball category, training and running as well. And I guess his right-hand man, or just his partner I should say, is another gentleman named Billy Dill. And that gentleman's background is all about design, apparel design, and I've checked out both of their pages on Instagram, and it's pretty cool. And also you can look them up in Google, and you can get more extensive information if you want. Okay, so those are the founders for the company. So it's only been around for a few years. It's a young company, but I think if you look at those gentlemen's background, they've amassed quite a bit of experience, and have definitely now in their products that you see now are obviously have shown that they have their own ideas. They've got their own path. They're not worried about the other giant companies. So it's pretty cool. It's very, very, very apparent for me when you look at their footwear, man. When you look at their designs, they've got a couple of new shoes. One's called the Lando. These are casual shoes, the Lando, and another one called Gambetto. Man, those designs, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, those are Brandblack shoes. Now on the function side too, when you look at their new Rare Metal, I mean, geez, like the silhouette of that shoe, it's just a sick shoe. Even their colorways, the color palette that they use, it's not typical colors that you see in all the other companies. So yeah, that's just some basic information about Brandblack. What else? Oh, the logo. The logo, again, I just looked this up on Google. The logo is, I read an article about them, and it was an interview type article. They said the logo was kind of based off the SR-71 spy plane. I think it was like supersonic airplane back in, I don't know when, 70s, 80s or something or other. So that's where their logo comes from, and it's a pretty simple logo. It's kind of like resembles a jet plane. So the logo is easy to apply in different areas and parts of the footwear and apparel, and different sizes, different capacities. So yeah, the logo is super simple. And yeah, that's all that I'm going to say for that, guys. That's all I want to say there. And it's time to get into this performance review, all right? So what I want to start off with is the amount of hours that I put in. Geez, 4, 6, 8, I think it's 10 hours that I put in. And I have mentioned, it's kind of a standard for me. I like to do 16 hours, and this performance review is based on 10 hours. And I'm fully confident on those 10 hours because of two reasons. One, this shoe is very, very, very simple to break in. The materials in the upper, the cushioning, the step-in comfort on day one. It was super comfortable right off the bat, so I'm confident that the shoe has fully broken in now. The materials are good to go, and I've used it. This is the second reason. I've used it on 3 different types of surfaces, and so I'm confident in the hours that I put into this shoe. So I've played on it on an outdoor court. If you've been following my Instagram or my first on court series, you would have seen lots of different clips that I use it outside for a few hours. And then I had a couple nights on not a pristine court. It's hard this time of year in Japan to get a pristine court, and the reason for that is because it gets really cold in Japan, as it does in other countries in wintertime. But the difference is, in Japan, in the large buildings and stuff like that, there's no insulation and there's no heating systems. So the gyms are, If it's 5 degrees outside, it is 5 degrees inside that gym. And it is so cold and the air is extremely dry, which does affect the courts. So the courts are not perfect. You know, the courts literally get stickier as the humid season comes in summer. So the court conditions are, you know, it's very decent. They're not dirty by any means. You know, I've seen lots of my friends on Instagram post pictures of the court conditions. Like, they show me the soles of their shoes after they're done playing. It's disgusting. There's nothing like that in Japan. We're allowed to use the brooms all the time. So, yeah, so, you know, somewhat dusty, not a pristine court. And then last night I played in them, and that was a dusty court. All right. So those are the conditions that I put into the shoe, and now time for the feedback. So let's have a look at the traction. The design of the traction, you have all sorts of, you know, bars or lines going left to right or diagonally. And within those lines, they've been like separated into, you can see there, you can see the lines. So there's several, you know, little nubs on each bar. And I did mention when I was playing on the outdoor court that you could feel the shoe biting the ground, which was a great sign. So yeah, that definitely worked out for me. Then on the somewhat, you know, half decent conditions on the indoor court, again, I did not have to wipe. It was great, and I had no problem stopping and cutting. Last night on the dusty court, I did have to wipe once every game. Now, to explain, you know, this is just pickup, you know, we don't have referees or anything like that. I'm sure you guys have seen all the clips on my Instagram. We play a game for like 10 minutes, and then we'll take like a minute break, and then we'll play another 10 minutes, and then take another minute break. So for those 10-minute games, I had to wipe once or so at the end of the game. So I am satisfied and pleased with the traction. Moving on to cushioning. So it's got toe to heel Jetlon Plus foam-based cushioning. And it runs all the way. Man, this was the standout feature for me. It was from your heel strike all the way through as your foot rolls out off the toe off. The cushioning is consistent, and the transition is very smooth. So I love the cushioning there. And it's great that I could really feel it, because I'm only like 139 pounds. So I would imagine anyone heavier than me probably get even more out of it, you know, even more shock reduction, and probably even a smoother ride than I did. So cushioning, guys, okay? I'm not gonna get, you know, trying to explain things over and over. It was outstanding. I love the Jetlon Plus cushioning. All right. Next up, the fit. The fit in the heel cup. Definitely had no problems with it grasping the back of my heel and ankle area, which is a great sign because I'm extremely skinny, guys. I'm just like bone and skin. So the heel cup area, that was fantastic. It's sweet how it's like a low cut in the back, so that helps with you know, mobility. And then as we get up to the front here of the ankle collar area, it comes up almost like a mid cut. And I guess what I'm gonna incorporate into my little fit section here is the lacing system. So the laces, the last two laces up here, I'll cut away to a close-up hopefully. The last two eyelets, are plastic inserts, so the laces can glide through those two eyelets very easily. And it did a great job of clamping down, holding down my ankle area, which is always a bonus for us skinny guys. The fit up in the forefoot, okay, this was for me in this particular pair, was a little bit of a downer, okay? Again, I gotta stress it's because I have a narrow foot. So I've mentioned in my first on court episode that there's a little too much space going on up here for me. So anyone with a medium width foot or a wide width foot would probably benefit or really enjoy, appreciate the fit of this shoe. And then again, lacing, there's no frills, no gimmicks, it's just a regular lacing system. Just, you know, 1 + 1 = 2 type of lacing, very simple. So that's that for fit. Next are the materials in the upper. So it's a jacquard upper, a jacquard knit upper, which I already mentioned. You know, it broke in really quickly, really nicely. The shoe, it's like when you put the shoe on, it's not like, you got this big tank of a shoe on your foot. It just fits very nicely. The material is light, the shoe is light. And like on the flip side of that, sometimes when a shoe has like a woven upper or a knit type of upper, sometimes you lose out on support or your confidence to move and like strongly or, you know, sharp cuts. For the most part, I didn't worry about it at all. I did forget about it when I was playing. You know, I wasn't really concerned with the shoe. Again, one more thing that I would have liked to see, and it's just because about how I move on the court. So they got a little bit of reinforcement here on the medial side, right? Probably for toe drags, but I don't toe drag myself. I do cut hard left to right and right to left. I like to have shoes that have that type of reinforcement right here, because sometimes you feel like not in this shoe, sometimes you feel like your foot's going to slide off the footbed, and I would have liked to have seen something a little bit more supportive here. There is you know, the midsole here does rise up here, so that does help out, but just something a little bit sturdier on the knit, on the jacquard knit itself. So I would have liked to have seen something there. There is an outrigger here that sticks out quite a bit, and even the base here, you can see, yeah, you can see right here, the base actually does flare out quite a bit. So you have a nice flat base, you have a lot of contact with the surface, and it is quite wide. It does flare out from where your foot sits, so you get your lateral support from there as well. Sorry, I kind of drifted away from materials. I've pretty much wrapped up materials there. Yeah, guys, I don't know what else could I say. I mean, the traction was great. The cushioning is A1. The materials, straightforward. It's a jacquard knit upper. You do have some reinforcement layers here in the heel cup area, on the heel cup area. And another point that I want to make is the heel cup. There's an internal heel counter. It is quite stiff. Like, that's pretty good. So again, that adds to support, and then also that, you know, gives me confidence to move on the court as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. The Brandblack Rare Metal, a great performer on the court. I will continue to play in this shoe. You know, I talked about, you know, the history of Brandblack and the product and the design and all of that stuff. The packaging, like, is somewhat premium. Like, when I opened up the box in the Real Recognizes Real video, you can go back and check that out. You know, there's lots of paper in there. Inside the shoe, wow, there was a lot of like shoe forms or shoe trees. Like, you really get the feel of a premium type of product. But when you look at the prices, no way. Like, in the States, it's $111, and I think on Finish Line right now, they're like down to $80 or something like that. So the prices are consumer friendly, especially for the kids out there, for parents, you know, just great prices. And I hope that's something that doesn't change, you know. I really hope that's not the case. Now, the other side, you know, I wish some of that packaging, you know, they could just do without. You know, it's a lot of extra paper and stuff like that. So hopefully anybody who buys a pair, I hope you guys recycle all that stuff. Also, I want to make one major correction from, geez, I can't remember if it was the First on Court episode or if it was from the Real Recognizes Real unboxing. I said that perhaps I might be the first person in Japan to have Brandblack. I stand corrected, guys. Brandblack is available in Japan, and the only place that I found it was online at a website called Slam Japan, I think, and they carry all sorts of brands for basketball gear. So the stuff is available in Japan. And I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. Okay, quick to the point. Fantastic shoe. I am gonna continue playing in it. It is my #1 go-to shoe at the moment. You never know what else will happen, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep rocking these, and I'll get to play in them again next weekend. So thank you very much for joining the video, joining myself for this performance review. If you liked the video, if you found the information useful, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. I do have the next video, by the way, that's coming up. I just received 3 requests on Instagram. I posted a couple of videos about where my vertical training is going and how to my surprise, I'm able to grab the rim. So I got messages about, like, what are you doing? I have posted, in the past, quite a few videos here on YouTube about my routines, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a video that's going to show every single exercise that I've done since the beginning. The program that I have has, maybe 10 exercises that you do in different capacities. You do it one day, you don't do it another day. So I'm going to do a video that's going to show all the different exercises. I'm not going to go into detail about how much you should do it or when you should do it, how often you should do it. That's up to you and your body. So be on the lookout for that one. I'm excited to make that one because I'm excited to help you guys out because people are asking questions about this. And it's great because I think they identify with me because I'm just your average dude. I'm an old man. So, and I'm getting results. So that clearly means, I think anyone can do it. You know what I mean? The majority of people out there, anyone can do it. So, another thing, guys, I'm approaching 20,000 or 20K on Instagram, so the giveaway contest is going to be coming up very, very soon. I will start posting a lot about that on Instagram, but the final video of the details and how the contest is going to run is only going to be here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification alerts, and that would be very much appreciated. Thanks for joining. Take care, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, guys? Peace.